Hello there, my name is Megan Gammond and this is my up-to-date 2026 portfolio. To begin, my first project, which was allocated in the first week of college by my lecturer, was a group project, currently unlabelled. It was an introduction to voyeurism through Alfred Hitchcock due to studying Vertigo. During the time to be with like-minded people, it reignited the love of editing and filmmaking that I forgot I once had. The experience continues to influence me in future filmmaking, as the process taught me in future projects to film multiple shots. In the editing of the short film, I craved more footage, I wanted more room to play with, and I wanted more creative freedom within the editing space. As it was my first experience in videography editing, I was heavily reliant on my knowledge of editing that was loosely inspired by Edgar Wright, editing and emphasising the mundane activities of filmmaking. Within my second project, When the Ash Goes Out, it's currently the successor of my first short film. It made me realise that I wanted a future in film. Safe to say, I am very proud of it. I created it to be a love letter to the active spectator, as selfishly I am one. I wanted everything to have meaning. I wanted people to realise the effects of smoking in regards of the personal aspects rather than the health aspects. And from what I learnt last time within the group project, I now knew that I wanted mountains of footage. I wanted to be able to guarantee success within my editing, and that made the process 10 times more easier as it being my first film. All in all, my favourite thing about the experience was learning approximately firsthand what it is to do sound, what it is to film, what it is to do the cinematography, what it is to edit, what it is to have the creative freedom. The love letter to the active spectator was arguably selfish, but arguably the best thing I could have done. For example, I included 2 shots of a line of shoes, completely normal to have in a household, yet I wanted to portray the organised and loving lifestyle that my protagonists have at the beginning, whereas in my second shot they were disorganised, portraying my main protagonist's grief of the loss of her boyfriend. Which leads me on to my third project, which is written work of films. Should films cater towards Martin Scorsese's critique that the director's life and soul should be on screen? Every film should be somewhat biological. Does the personal aspect of film create classics? I wanted to write about the biological aspects to identify the establishing effects of the personal and contextual input within films curated by an auteur. As I was influenced by a time I back-to-back went to the cinema and watched Baby Girl and Nosferatu. 2 objectively different films that both lacked personal input within each director. As a writer, I learned to establish films and their meaning, whereas a filmmaker, I learned the biological aspects of film impacts a spectator's point of view. And my favourite thing about writing a 50-page essay about films was discussing the different viewpoints of good and bad films through a personal lens. And then lastly, I want to include my miscellaneous projects, which is photography. I enjoy photography as I'm able to present my creative eye through still imagery. And this is including photos of friends, this is including photos of places like Rome and coffee shops. And that is my up-to-date 2026 portfolio. Bye.